Time for another stock review. This time we're talking Salesforce, CRM. If you like this sort of content, tap the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Click subscribe or ring the bell. During this review, you're going to see all sorts of stuff. We're talking AI, we're talking chips, we're talking enterprise software. Oh yeah, all the favorite stuff. But can you make money from it? Can we make money from this? Well, we're going to look over the charts, give you the numbers. We're going to peruse it, and we're going to take a look at the numbers. And we're going to work out if you can make money with this stock. Are you ready? Let's get straight into it. Doodle Wanger, thank you very much for your subscription. Shall we have a look? Do you like that? Look at that. That's pretty cool. Look at that. The screen behind me. I'm loving it. We're going to share with you a back test against the S&P. We're going to look at the chart and give you a technical chart, and we have one already done for you. You're very lucky today. Salesforce, we're going to show you the ratings using my advanced pro software from Seeking Alpha. You can all get a discount. The latest news, what's going on, the latest reports, the latest earnings. We'll even take a look at the website. What's it all about? Yes. I'll also present to you as well the basic information as well as the in-depth analysis, the valuation, intrinsic valuation, profit, loss, who's buying, who's selling on the inside. All of that is coming your way. Members can book an earnings like this for just $1. We don't have training programs. We just provide it for free. We aim to be the most honest, real, live channel in the world. That's right. You heard me right. The best, most live, most engaged channel in the world. We already have 98% of our live viewers are members. That's more than most channels combined here on this channel. Right, let's get straight into it. It's CRM, it's Salesforce. Let's look at it. Let's look at the basic line chart where we can see, like a lot of AI technology stocks, massive growth. Sell off back down to here, and up we go again. All right, we'll cover all this in detail in a moment. What is Salesforce? It engages in the design and development of cloud-based enterprise software for customer relationship management. Its solutions and it includes Salesforce automation, customer service and support, marketing automation, digital commerce, community management, collaboration, industry-specific solutions, and Salesforce platform. The firm also provides guidance, support, training, and advisory services. The company was founded by Marc, Benioff, and Parker Harris in 1999, headquartered San Francisco, California. The listed name is CRM Salesforce. 1999, California, 75,682 employees, and Marc Benioff. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Now, I do a Meet the CEO series. If you'd like to have Marc on the show, I never contact anyone. I never sell my services at all. I don't tell anybody how wonderful I am, ever. It's always about underselling and over-delivering always. Reach out to Marc. Tell him you're an investor of the company and you'd love to have them on the show, where Marc will talk to me unscripted. That's the rules of when they come on the show. Unscripted, learn all about the company so investors can learn from the inside what it's all about, and they can make an informed decision of what the company is all about. I don't own the stock. I only own the S&P. I'm not here to pump and dump a stock. No one from the company pays me. Only my members ask me to do these reviews. That's what it's all about, to provide a service. That's it. Maintenance requirement, 25%. So it's the same as the S&P 500, regarded as low risk, if there was such a thing. Low risk here if you're using margin. Average volume 6.96, low volume, and the volume today is 6 on average. So it seems that people just buy and hold. There is a dividend to this, but it's only recent. It's new. It's not a dividend king. It's not a dividend aristocrat. It's not been going for very long. In fact, it's been going for 2 quarters. We'll talk about the dividend in a moment. See if it's worth its salt. Remember, dividends only as good as it is paid out, reliability, and if it increases. Price to earnings ratio, 44 times earnings. Well, it's not cheap, but we'll compare that to the ongoing valuation later. So there are maybe stocks in this industry which are cheaper than that. Doesn't mean to say it's a bad thing to pay a lot for a stock if it's going to grow. Doesn't matter. 52-week low, 193. 52-week high, 318. Bit of movement there. Right, what should we see here? Let's go and look at the inside positions. Let's go over to this screen. It's a better way of showing you. We're interested in insiders. Insiders, they've been buying the stock. Let's have a look. Well, it's been a bit 50-50, if I'm honest. If we look for insider trading, if we see uninformative buys, it's just, and that's what that pattern looks like by experience. Let's see if I'm right. Yep, I'm right. When you do it 1,000 times a day, uninformative buys. What does that mean? Well, what it means is they're paying themselves with stock to maintain talent. If you have people working for you and you reward them in stocks, they're likely to remain with the company. I've spoken to CEOs about this, CFOs about this, employees. If you're paid by stocks, you not just stocks, of course, you're going to get wages as well. You couldn't live, could you? But this doesn't show an indication of sentiment. If the insiders are buying with their own cash or selling with their own cash, that tells you that gives you an indication of sentiment. But uninformative, accumulative via shares via grant or reward doesn't mean anything. Nothing to draw from that. Don't have any worries about that. So there's no big deal there. Insiders are just simply buying a bit of selling as well, which is just tax positions. Nothing there really to shout about. No real movement, no real numbers to be concerned about. Hedge funds, is anyone buying? We got more buys than selling recently in the last Q. We got Fisher asset buying. We got value account holdings buying. We got a bit of selling going on, not a huge amount, not a huge number. So mainly the big numbers are the buy-ins, which is good. So there isn't anything there to worry about. There's nothing. There's no major selling or major buying going on, so nothing to get too stressed about there. Fair valuation, 290. Well, we'll come on to our valuation in a minute. Uncertainty high. This whole industry is always like that. Don't be worried about that. Stewardship standard. That's okay. Not an issue. Wide economic moat. That means their margins should be around about the 40%, 45%. We'll have a look in a minute and see if they are wide. And we'll see. Now, earnings tends to please. Wall Street tend to get it wrong. They seem to beat, they are a profitable company, and they seem to consistently beat by a decent margin. We were expecting a big drop recently, and that never happened. 211 came out to 256. So very stable, very good earnings, moving in the right direction. We like to see that. Very nice. Who else is buying the stock? Microsoft, Adobe, Meta, Netflix, Block, Twilio, Shopify, CrowdStrike, Visa, PayPal, Snowflake, Airbnb, Uber, ServiceNow, Okta, Disney, DocuSign, MasterCard, Amazon. Some good businesses in there. No rubbish, no scam stocks, no Mullen, no FFIE, no Lucid with Peter Rawlinson paying himself $500 million in wages. So that's kind of good. We see a good list of company. That's good. I like that. Nothing in there of anything that really concerns me. All right, good. Let's have a look now. If you like this so far, please tap the like button and consider subscribing. That would be great. That would be very good indeed. Appreciate it. Let's go over now and look at what the companies say about themselves. We're Salesforce, the customer company. We could say we've always been the customer company. From the day we opened our doors, focus on our customers drove our every decision. It fueled our growth and powered our customer success. We developed the technology, the partnerships, and the communities that help companies connect with customers so that every company can become a customer company. I like it. All right, there's a little logo. The world will change, but customers' focus remains. Customers' focus remains. All right, I'm looking at NVIDIA. Just coming up after hours slightly. It was down to 105. We're now up to 106.40. That's good. I like that. Let's have a look. We build bridges between customers and companies. I think you get the general idea of what we're talking about. We don't want to spend too much time just going over a website, but it's always worth just looking at. Let's go and look now at this dividend. Now, it's only paid out 2 quarters. So it means nothing. It means nothing. 40 cents. Great. Okay, tiny little dividend. But until a dividend has been paid out every quarter for 5 years, 10 years, it means nothing. You can add it 1 year, take it away. What does it mean? Don't buy it for the dividend. Will the dividend increase? We want to see the next dividend in October, maybe 42 cents, 43 cents, 50 cents. We want to see it increase, and we want to see it always pay out every quarter. So far, we've got 40 cents. Doesn't mean a lot. No point having a dividend if the stock's going down. No point having a dividend that's promised to go up if it doesn't pay out. All right, so we've got to just bear that in mind. Growth, well, if we put $10,000 in Salesforce back in 2015, it's a reasonable time, 9 years ago, we 4x'd our money. 42,000, very nice indeed. The S&P, we 3x, $32,000. We've outperformed the S&P. No surprise there. As you can see, that it's much more volatile. However, the good news is, and I'm always looking for this, to see a stock that can have the peaks and the troughs, so you can trade it if you are a trader, scalp trading, but always remain above the S&P. That way, you can say, right, I buy it here, sell it here. Buy it here, sell it here. Buy it here, sell it here, if you are a trader. And the reason why this is interesting, of course, is because at the end of the day, it's outperformed the S&P, but it's always remained on trend above the S&P. Because if it drops below, then we've got a concern. Because this is our benchmark. If we can remain above this, even if it's volatile, but above this, then we're outperforming the S&P even when it sells off. I like that from a trading element. For me, I'm not a trader. I'm an investor. I buy and own the company and never sell it. So for me, I'm not looking to do this, but you might. That's a very encouraging chart. I like it. Now then, you might like the actual buy zones, sell zones, and all the rest of it. Well, it just so happens, looking at the chart here, we have it for you already. Look at this. This was just done last night or the night before. Salesforce chart. Couldn't be better, could it, folks? Literally 24 hours ago, we gave you all the buy zone, sell zone, support levels, and all the rest of it for Salesforce, along with a host of other ones as well. But we gave you this one. Sensei worked late in the night to get this done for you, literally late in the night. And there you go. If you want that video, I will give you the links below. But if you go to the homepage of my channel, you will just look for videos, you will find it, or simply type in CRM Start Martyn Lucas Investor. You'll find it that way as well. But I'll give you the links below. Okay, so there's your charts. If you're interested in that, we can give you that as well. Also, if you join Sensei on Sunday, he'll do it live for you in the show. A custom-made chart for you. It's free of charge. It's provided to all our members. We do that for all our members. Right, now then, let's look at Seeking Alpha. If you use Seeking Alpha, the only way you can get a $25 off and a free trial is my referral. There it is. Anyone without that, you've got to pay full price and no trial. You might as well try it. This is where I get the news from and this software from here. Seeking Alpha Analysts. I am one. Don't take it too literally. You don't have to be a financial advisor. However, financial advisors can very often get it wrong. Meet Kevin gets it wrong all the time, and he's a licensed professional. Still talks rubbish. So, Seeking Alpha Analysts say buy Wall Street. I like that one more, and I like the hold from Quant, which is the AI software, which is unbiased. So all good here. What about valuations? Improving from F now down to D minus, B plus, A plus, B minus, up from C plus, B plus. All that's good. We're moving in the right direction. All our factor grades are looking good. All right, latest news. Salesforce agrees to acquire AI voice developer Tenx. 10X. 10X? 10YX? No idea. Haven't got a clue. I don't know. Salesforce announced today it was entered into a definitive agreement to acquire 10x. I'm going to go for 10x. Maybe it's wrong. A developer of artificial intelligence voice agents that aid in customer service. Salesforce plans to use the acquisition to bolster its AI-driven solutions and customer interactions. The acquisition is expected to close sometime before October the 3rd, 2024. Details on the cost of the acquisition were not revealed. The integration of 10x's deep knowledge of AI, voice AI with Salesforce Service Cloud position. Salesforce has set new standards in customer experience, Salesforce said. All right, good news. Thank you very much. Salesforce downgraded at Phillip Capital after Q2 reports. This was out 2 days ago, a slight downgrade. What did they say? Salesforce was in focus on Friday after research firm Phillip Capital downgraded the cloud computing company after it reported second quarter results earlier this week. Shares rose 0.4% in pre-market trading. We downgrade to accumulate from buy recommendation as we account for recent share price performance. Analysts at the firm wrote they kept their 305 price target on the stock. Salesforce shares are roughly flat year to date and have gained 19.5% over the past year. They added the further catalysts for Salesforce include margin expansion, robust free cash flows, and resilient demand for its core offerings. Okay, now then, what about the earnings? We're just talking about that. So, August 28th, 5 days ago at the making of this video, $2.56, a beat of 20 cents. And we have the EPS gap actual 147, a beat of 13 cents. Revenue actual 9.3, revenue surprise beat by 91.43 million. Upcoming quarter earnings, this is in November, and we're expected 244, a gap of 144. So all of that, that's a slight downturn, isn't it? Yes, that will be a slight downturn. Yeah, revenue estimate will be slightly up, but the EPS gap estimate looks like it'll be slightly down from their estimations. Right, okay, there's the earnings. Now what's most important, let's go over and look at the fundamentals of the business and see what we got. Okay, here we go. We're coming up to the end of our marathon show today. Undervalued by 3%. Undervalued by 3% base case, worst case scenario, overvalued by 20%. I can do that because I'm always happy to pay 25% over valuation for high growth stocks like this one. So whichever way you look at it, this is coming in good. We're probably in a base case, worst case scenario, if not a best case scenario. All right. And it looks pretty accurate. What about scrolling down to the balance sheet itself? Up 2%. 36.5 billion revenue. It's a growth, but it's not an S-curve like other stocks we've just recently looked at. It's a growth, but steady. There may be better alternatives here. It's okay, but there may be better alternatives in the same sector. Operating income, 7 billion. Like Supermicro computers we just talked about, has a much perhaps a better potential, but that's why this one is a slightly different price, okay? The valuation is slightly different. Operating income up 5% and expecting a big jump in October. We're very excited to hear about that. Net income up 3% and expecting things to improve there. Financing cash flow down 55%. Investing cash flow down 88%. That's a positive. And operating cash flow up 0.7%. All right, all good. 92 billion in assets, 34 billion in liabilities. We can live with that. 12%, 12 billion in cash. Nice proportion. We don't want too much cash sitting around. We got 12.6 billion in cash. How much debt have we got? Well, we've got debt of 8.4 long. term debt. Long-term debt, 24%. We can live with that. That's an okay number. That's an okay number. I can live with that. And the percentage between assets and liabilities, I can live with as well. Because long-term debt, 8.4 billion. If we go to cash, we've got 12. So we can pay all our debts off. Good. Great balance sheet. I'm loving the balance sheet so far. Okay. Gross margins. 76%. Net margin, 15%. So you can see not quite as good as NVIDIA there. Gross margin is 75%, but net margin is 15%. Operating margin, 19%, 31%. FCF margin, that's what's meant by the moat, okay? 10% ROCE, 8% ROIC, ROA 6%, and ROE 10%. Very nice indeed. Let's scroll on down. Profitability, as you can see, it's not NVIDIA and it's not Supermicro Computer, so there might be better options for you. 57%, but that's why share price is different and the valuation is different, beg your pardon, not a share price, that's irrelevant. 57% profitability, 83% solvency. Like I say, the business is good. Its solvency is good. It's not going to go bust, but we want a business that makes money as well. The profitability here is a little bit on the lower side. I might prefer Supermicro Computers, NVIDIA. You pay more for it, but it's a better company. So just think about that. Upside 22%, so you beat the S&P. Worst case scenario 6%. I can live with that. Again, if I was allocating $1,000, I'd put 800 in, and if it drops 6%, I'd put the other 200 in, lower it down. Worst case scenario, that's how I'd play it. 65%, yeah, great, but there are better opportunities out there. Even so, I wouldn't mind making 65%. Would you? Short interest. That's the good thing here. It's better than other companies, 1.48%. Insignificant short interest, no issue at all. We do have that interest with Supermicro Computers, so you might like to consider that. 1.48, no short squeeze coming or anything like it. All right. We talked about ownership 5 days ago. Is that relevant? 5 days ago from Schwab? I don't think so. Schwab, not always that great. If I'm honest, a lot of noise and waffle, so we won't bother with that. So Salesforce, I like the industry. I think there might be better competition. I think there might be better businesses to invest in. Its balance sheet is good, but a great balance sheet is not everything without profit. I can have a great balance sheet if I've got $10 in the bank and no bills. I've got a perfect balance sheet. Doesn't make me a great business, does it? Just means I've got $10 and I owe no money. So the balance sheet is good. The profitability is on the lower side. I see greater profitability in other industry and in other companies in the same sector, but it's certainly one for thought. We've got a reasonable valuation. It's undervalued, as we've seen, by 3%. So it's okay. It's undervalued. And you can overpay for stock like this. So, it's not bad. It's quite a good company, but there may be better options. So there's my thought on Salesforce. It's food for thought. It's a potential buy, but there are others I think that may be slightly more attractive. You might prefer an ETF of this sector, or you just might prefer to buy the S&P 500, or go more aggressive and get NVIDIA, or especially now NVIDIA's beaten up a little bit, maybe not a bad idea, or Supermicro Computer, or whatever. Anyway, click above my head for all the links down below in the description. Over here, I'll put the review for all the stocks I've reviewed. Down here, I'll put the Salesforce playlist, which will include all of my previous reviews, including Sensei's chart, so you can find the buy zones, sell zones, and all the rest of it. Also below in the description, you'll find the FOMC report. It's going to be our biggest event we've ever had. I'm expecting 40,000 to join us live, which would make us the most engaged ratio to subscribers and viewers in the world. If we get 40,000, I think we can do it, because people are starting to want a real channel rather than just ones that make videos and to feather their own nest. I've been live since 6 o'clock this morning. It's now 6 o'clock in the evening. There you go. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.